To this now, Urban October is a global initiative by the UN Habitat established to promote sustainable urban development and tackle challenges in cities. Every year in October, communities worldwide host activities that highlight values such as youth development, environmental sustainability, inclusivity, equality and diversity. The community schemes Ombud services, the National Department of Human Settlements and Beverages have joined forces to raise awareness about Urban October in Durban this year. And for more on this, let's now bring in Lesiba, the Acting Chief Ombudsman at the Community Schemes Ombud Service. And he joins us now via our video link. Lesiba, thank you so much for your time this evening here in SABC News. Let's start off here. Maybe if you can just give us an insight, what is Urban October?
Well, thank you so much. Good evening to you, Mbali, and to the viewers. Yes, Urban October is actually a program or a campaign that is initiated by the United Nations Habitat, which aims to promote sustainable urban development as well as sustainable urban living. And this is why, as the Community Schemes Ombud Service, we've gone all out of our way to KwaZulu-Natal in particular, to go and visit people who live in our schemes, in all these schemes, to try and assist and ensure that they are able to integrate both technology and artificial intelligence in urban living.
And Lesiba, I mean, this year's theme being people-centered and smart cities, with a key focus, as you mentioned, being Durban. Maybe perhaps tell us more about the theme and why Durban was selected for this year's Urban October.
Well, like I've said earlier on, the idea of the theme actually tries to bring together the issue of technology, artificial intelligence, as well as sustainable living. Quite a lot has been said about global warming, where quite often people blame global warming to all what is happening in our cities. And we are saying you can actually use artificial intelligence, you can actually use technology, but still create a sustainable environment. And we have chosen Durban in particular because of the natural disasters that we have seen growing up in Durban, how floods have ravaged the province in KwaZulu-Natal. And we working together with the United Nations Habitat felt very strongly that Durban is the place where we can run this campaign to promote sustainable urban living. And part of what we've been doing is to assist people who live in community schemes. And by community schemes, I am making reference to residential estates or block of flats, to assist them in planting, in putting together and planting plants so that they can actually have a sustainable future. You do not need to do nothing about what is happening in respect of global warming. There's something that we need to do. We need to work together with our communities and plant the notion that with technology being there, with artificial intelligence being there, with all that is there, we can still ensure that we live side by side with the natural environment.
A very important initiative for the people of Durban. And one would also then ask, when it comes to this initiative, how will it benefit the people of Durban for the long term? And now introducing this particularly for cities who are affected by global warming.
Obviously, there are two parts to what we are doing in terms of our campaign. The first was between the 4th and the 12th of October, where we went into areas that have been highly affected by poor living conditions. Estates such as Bonella, where we went all out to get more plants to go and plant over there in those estates, but also to beautify and make sure that people are able to see and buy into the idea of making the environment clean, but also encourage them to plant more trees to ensure that sustainability becomes the in thing. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that we have embarked on the second leg of Urban October to go into identified malls where we want to reach out to our stakeholders in KwaZulu-Natal, especially people who live in shared living spaces, such as your sectional titles, such as your homeowners associations, a block of flats, etc., as well as retirement villages, to go and encourage them to say, listen, we may be living in urban centers, but it doesn't mean that there's nothing that we can do to promote sustainable living in these community schemes by making sure that we have clean environments, by making sure that we put plants, trees around, and we take care of them. And we are hoping that this will not be the end simply because the CSOS has been there in October and we're leaving. We believe very strongly that we are bringing communities together to say, this is what you need to be doing going forward.
Yeah.
You don't need to stop here, but you can do this, a monthly program, to make sure that the areas we live in are not only clean, but they are also sustainable.
And Lesiba, talking about these communities which you're speaking to, what has been the reception like from them in terms of planting in urban areas?
Well, the reception, I must say, it has been very good. It has been quite welcome, especially in the estates that we've been to, such as Bonella and others. Obviously, there is a bigger cry from a lot of schemes who are saying, but not, why not us? But I mean, we have different schemes that are actually operating at different levels. And our view has always been that perhaps we should start with where the problems are, so that we encourage those communities to come up. I mean, if you look in KwaZulu-Natal, there are highly established schemes such as Zimbali and Simbiti and many others that do not have the problems that we are encountering at Bonella and elsewhere. If you look at Westwood, for example, they don't have those kind of challenges. So, and we believe that there's a whole lot of schemes in KwaZulu-Natal that are doing good work. I mean, you could go as much as Mount Edgecombe and others. But we believe that we have to concentrate on the smaller one, and they are really welcoming our gestures.
All right. Thank you so much, Lesiba. That is Lesiba Seshoka, the acting chief ombuds at the community schemes Ombud services there, just giving us an insight in terms of Urban October and that very important initiative. Also, you must expect to see a number of communities, particularly in the urban spaces, to be planting more of these plants to get rid of issues that come with global warming.